Another business support. I'm Sophie Zolman, or Sophie Zoe, and I'm the owner and CEO of the company. And today's tip is going to be a little bit different than what I usually talk about. We're not going to talk about marketing, we're not going to talk about operations, we're going to talk about you, or in this case, me, to a certain degree, so that I can share with you my recent experience with reflecting on what my business is doing, where it's going, how I'm getting there, what it's like for me in my life, what it's doing for me mentally, physically, emotionally. And all of that culminated in a bout of pretty nasty COVID last week. And a good friend of mine and colleague, Shannon Hernandez, calls it COVID clarity. And for me, I think getting COVID last week was probably that final step in this process that I've been going through since June to really reflect on my business, to reflect on my life, and to figure out not only what I really want, but how to get it without killing myself, without losing family time. Because as you all know, my whole purpose and mission, and my business's purpose and mission, is to help you have a life and create a business you desire that has the impact that you want, that makes the money you want without killing yourself. And, in all truth and transparency, I would say the first 5 months of this year, especially, I was driving myself in the ground doing exactly the opposite of what I teach my clients, do for my clients, etc. And yes, I have a full team of people supporting me, and I wasn't, using them enough, delegating to them enough, I should say. And, I had an epiphany at a mastermind in June, that I was doing too much, that I was doing things that were not effective, that were not bringing return on the massive time investment I was spending on them. And I've been since then I have been reflecting on what I want to do, what my ultimate goals are, how I want to get there, and really absorbing that mastermind, what my coaching program is teaching me. Because I went to a retreat right before I got COVID, and really was like the second to last step of really getting clear, of getting ahas, and actually doing a whole bunch of inner healing that really opened the door to figuring this out, with COVID being that final step of being knocked down on my ass. Pardon my language if that offends you. And really having to think things through of what I really want in my life and my business, etc. So today, I want to talk to you from my heart, from this experience, because the past 2 months have been enlightening for me, but they've also been very hard on me. And I want to share with you how I've come full circle, come out of that, and really established what is really meaningful to me and what I really want in life, and what it takes to do that. Because doing what everybody else is doing is not necessarily the way to go. And because that can lead you to comparison syndrome. Been there, done that. It can make you think, well, I'm doing what so and so is doing and it's not working for me, or I'm working my ass off and I'm not getting anywhere, because you're working your ass off instead of doing the things that really count. So, just wanted to share with you that this experience that I've had, and a few takeaways from it. First and foremost, take time to reflect on what you're doing in your business and life to see what's working, what's not. Do this monthly, quarterly, biannually, etc. I was sort of doing it monthly, but I was doing it with a bit of blinders on. It wasn't until I went to that mastermind in June and we were learning ways to grow our business that were way less time intensive, driving, hustle and grind, which is what I was doing. And it really just hit me upside the head, almost literally. And I started making changes. I started thinking and reflecting. Then, once you've reflected on that to see what's working, what's not working, take more time to dig into what's not working and determine next steps to change it or get rid of it altogether. You don't immediately throw the baby out with the bathwater in this case. You do need to reflect and see if there was any piece of what you're doing that just would work if you just tweaked it, or if it's really killing you, it's a hustle grind method. Is there a way to alter it to make it less hustle and grind and more strategic and less time consuming and more effective at the same time? And then last, after you've done all that, create a new plan of action for you on all levels, not just in the business, and not just in your life. Because like your life affects your business affects your life. And you really need to make sure that you're doing what feels good to you. Because yes, yep, there's business plans, there's strategies of that and all of that, but there's also your intuition, your gut, your heart and soul that speak to you too. And you need to make sure that you're listening to both of those and not just one or the other. Because I will full out admit I was in the hustle grind, masculine energy of myself, and I was just killing myself, almost literally, not quite literally. COVID was pretty bad, but nowhere near killing me. And I have figured out, through the retreat and some healing and things, that I've really got to step into the duality of the masculine and feminine, the yin and the yang, and I've got to really embrace it. And I healed some lifelong core wounds that were causing me to be stuck in my masculine, and I feel 10 million times better in so many respects. I have taken time to rearrange my schedule, my strategies in certain areas where I was killing myself and didn't need to be, and I'm really excited about what's to come. So I encourage you to do the same. Most of us are here in our own business to make money, but we're also here to have a lifestyle. We want to live differently than in corporate world. We don't want to, 9 to 5 stressed, life sucks afterwards, that kind of a thing. We want to have our cake and eat it too, and you can have that. You just have to figure out what works for you. It's great to listen to others. You do need coaches, you do need mentors, you do need masterminds, but you also need to look at everything they're teaching you and telling you and take what works for you, or take what you want and make it work for you and discard the rest. There is no cookie cutter way to do this. And there is, everybody works, thinks, and perceives and does things differently. And you need to make sure you are living your life and creating a business you love, having the impact you want, making the money you want in a way that's not going to drive you into the grave. So that is my personal experience, and I guess you could call it a rant. But that's where I am right now, and I am so excited for what's to come for me, and I'm so excited for what's to come to you. I really highly encourage you to take the time to do these things and to do them regularly and be honest with yourself and surround you, ask others. That's where your masterminds, your coaching groups, and family and people around you that support you, not the naysayers, the people who are in support of you, who can sometimes see what you don't see in yourself. Those are the people to talk to. Those are the people to get confirmation from to a certain extent. Don't rely on them for the answers, and don't take what they say even, take it with a grain of salt, make sure it resonates with you. Trust that gut, trust your heart and soul, and balance it with your brain. Because let me tell you, when you get that, balance, balance isn't even exactly the right word. It's an ebb and flow between brain, analytics, heart and soul, intuition, gut, masculine, feminine. It's an ebb and flow. It's not a this or a that, a black and a white. And believe me, as a Virgo, as someone who's been living quite heavily in the black and white, it's a huge epiphany. It's a huge knock upside the head, but it's a welcome one. And I'm really glad that I've had all of these things. And yes, I can even say that I am grateful for the COVID, because it was that final step I needed to really see the light, to make changes, to do these things and make changes that are going to be much better for me, my business, my team, and my clients. So there you have it. I know this was a bit of a long one today, but I really felt the need to get this out there. So thank you for stopping by. And as always, come see me each week here on LinkedIn. Oh, heads up, I might be changing it to Mondays instead of Tuesdays, but I'll let you know either next week or the week that happens. Again, thank you so much for stopping by. And if you have any questions or you want to hear more about this experience outside of social media, please let me know. I'm happy to